Hey guys, this is Trav Max Fun and welcome back to my channel, and today I am back once again with another D23 Expo 2022 prediction video. This is my fifth D23 2022 prediction video. I have done my Pixar, Walt Disney Animation, and Disney Television predictions. I have done my Lucasfilm predictions. I've done my Walt Disney Studios predictions. I've done my Marvel predictions. And now it's time for maybe the prediction video I was most excited to make, and that is my Disney parks predictions. So I am a huge fan of the Disney parks. I have a couple Disney World vlogs posted on the channel. You can check those out. But I'm a huge fan of the Disney parks, and I'm excited to see what they talk about and announce at D23 at the parks panel, although I'm a little nervous that it might be disappointing. But I hope it's as awesome as... I hope the parks panel is as awesome as it was in 2017, because 2017 they announced so many new things. They announced Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. They announced Tron. They announced Ratatouille. They announced the Epcot transformation. They announced the Skyliner. They announced the Riviera. They announced so much new things at D23 back in 2017. They announced a couple new things at D23 back in 2019, but I don't think they announced as many new things as they did back in 2017. And with this event being the kickoff of the Disney 100 celebration, I just have a feeling that they are going to deliver with the parks panel and announce some pretty cool stuff. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that the parks panel is great and they announce a bunch of new things. So I'm very excited for the parks panel, but I'm also a little nervous as well. But so without further ado, let's dive right into my Disney parks predictions. And we are going to start off with the resort that started it all, Disneyland Resort, and we are going to start off at Disneyland Park. And at Disneyland Park, we are going to start off with the brand new Toontown and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. And I think it's very, very likely that we will get some more updates and information and details and concept art on the brand new Toontown and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. They might talk about the new scene. They might talk about a new scene for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, because there's apparently reports that there's going to be a brand new scene in Disneyland's Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. But they might also talk about like the new enhancements coming to this brand new Toontown. Roger Rabbit is supposedly getting a brand new. It's not being demolished or replaced, but it's supposedly like just getting like a refurb, like a brand new storyline. So I think it's very likely that they will talk about the brand new Toontown and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and we might also get a opening window time frame for when this new Toontown will open. Right now, it's currently set to open next year, but we don't know when next year. But maybe at D23 they'll confirm if it's going to open in the spring, summer, fall, winter. So yeah. All right, next up is Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which the title was confirmed back in July, and they announced that it would be opening at both Walt Disney World and Disneyland in late 2024. And I also think it's pretty likely we'll get more information, concept art, details, and maybe even a first look at some of the animatronics for this ride at the Expo. So Tiana's Bayou Adventure, I think, is very likely to be talked about at the Expo. Another thing that they could possibly announce at the Expo is the closing date for Splash Mountain at both Walt Disney World and Disneyland. So they could possibly announce the closing date for Splash Mountain. But Tiana's Bayou Adventure, I definitely think they are Tiana's Bayou Adventure, I definitely think is very likely to be talked about at the expo. All right, next up is the Tarzan Treehouse replacement. So a couple months ago, they closed Tarzan's Treehouse, and a lot of work has been happening in that area for the past couple of months, but we have no idea what's going to be replacing it. However, there has been rumors that it's going to be replaced with an Encanto treehouse walkthrough based off Antonio's treehouse, as you can see in this picture right here from the movie. And I think at D23 they will confirm that Tarzan's treehouse is being rethemed to Encanto. So at D23 I think they will confirm that Tarzan's treehouse will be replaced with an Encanto treehouse. All right, next up is a Fantasyland expansion announcement. There's been some speculation of maybe Disneyland will build a Fantasyland expansion. I could definitely see it happening, and maybe at D23, they'll announce a Fantasyland expansion. But this kind of seems unlikely to happen, but you never know. I could definitely see a Fantasyland expansion happen in the near future. But I guess you could say this is more like a wild card prediction, because there's really been no rumors or sources of a brand new Fantasyland expansion happening at Disneyland. But you never know. D23, of course, they could always give us a surprise. So maybe at D23 they'll announce a Fantasyland expansion, but this is more like a wild card prediction. But we'll just have to see. Another land expansion I could possibly see them announce is a Galaxy's Edge expansion. I definitely think there is room for a little expansion to Galaxy's Edge with a brand new ride, and I could definitely see them announcing a Galaxy's Edge expansion. I think there's definitely a lot they can do with a Galaxy's Edge expansion. But once again, just like the Fantasyland expansion prediction, this is more like a wild card prediction. But still there's many things they can do with a Galaxy's Edge expansion, and they definitely have enough room for a little expansion with a brand new attraction. So this is more, once again, like a wild card prediction, but you never know. So maybe at D23 we'll get a Galaxy's Edge expansion announcement, but that kind of seems doubtful. All right, now let's talk about New Tomorrowland. And unlike the Fantasyland expansion and Galaxy's Edge expansion predictions, which were more like wild card predictions, this New Tomorrowland this right here is not a wild card prediction, because at D23 it's definitely very possible they could talk about New Tomorrowland at Disneyland. There's been lots of rumors being reported lately about New Tomorrowland. One of the big rumors about New Tomorrowland is that they are going to bring back the People Mover to Disneyland. And that's one of the big rumors surrounding this brand new Tomorrowland. So maybe at D23 they'll talk about New Tomorrowland, and maybe they'll officially confirm that People Mover is returning to Disneyland. So it's 50-50 if they talk about New Tomorrowland, but but I think it's definitely very possible they will talk about New Tomorrowland, and I definitely think there's a chance they could confirm that People Mover will be returning to Disneyland. All right, so that was Disneyland Park. Now we're going to move on over to my Disney California Adventure predictions, and we are going to start off with the Avengers e-ticket attraction. And this was an attraction they talked about at D23 back in 2019, but since then this attraction was shelved, not canceled, but like shelved, put to the side, and we really haven't heard that much since. But maybe at D23, there's definitely a chance they could give us an update on this attraction and confirm if it's still happening or not. And yeah, so I'm hoping they give us an update on the Avengers e-ticket attraction at D23. Next up, the Hyperion Theater. So the Hyperion Theater used to show Frozen live at the Hyperion, but that show is no longer going to be showing at the Hyperion Theater, and we don't know what's going to be showing at the Hyperion Theater next at Disney California Adventure. But maybe at D23 they'll announce what's going to be taking Frozen live at the Hyperion spot at the Hyperion Theater, whether it's a new show or even a brand new attraction. But at D23, I definitely think it's likely they could announce what's going to be replacing Frozen live at the Hyperion Theater in California Adventure. And while we're in Hollywood land here at Disney's California Adventure, this is once again more like a wild card prediction, but a Hollywood land refresh announcement. It seems like that they are like, it seems like Disney is like going to each land that it seems like Disney is going to a different land in California Adventure that like needs a refresh or like a brand new attraction or something. Like first they did Paradise Pier, and they transformed that into Pixar Pier. Then they moved on over to a Bugs Land and replaced that with Avengers Campus. And I have a feeling Hollywood Land is next on Disney's list of lands to refresh. Because Hollywood Land is probably the most forgettable land in California Adventure. I've never been there, but by the looks of it, it just seems like it's the more forgettable land at California Adventure, and I could see it getting a refresh. But a refresh announcement at D23, that kind of seems very unlikely, and this is more like a wild card prediction. But you never know. You never know. If they have been going to a different land, refreshing it, or putting something brand new in there, who knows? Maybe Hollywood Land is next, and maybe they could surprise us and announce some new stuff for Hollywood Land. But this is more like a wild card prediction. All right, we are now going to move on over to Downtown Disney District, and I definitely think it's very possible they could give us an update on the Downtown Disney District refurb, the backside of Downtown Disney District where AMC used to be. They're currently refurbing that part of Downtown Disney and adding some new stuff there, new dining, new shopping, and I could definitely see them giving us more details on this brand new Downtown Disney District and announce what shops, dining locations is going to be part of this brand new refurb Downtown Disney District. So I could definitely see them giving us an update on Downtown Disney District, the refurb of Downtown Disney District, or this part of Downtown Disney District. Now we're going to move on over to resorts, and there has a couple months ago, there was apparently leaked concept art of a Pixar theme to the Paradise Pier Hotel, and I think at D23, I think it's very likely at D23 they'll officially confirm a Pixar theme to Paradise Pier Hotel will be happening, and they'll probably give us details, more concept art of this, and yeah, so I definitely think it's likely, very likely, that they'll confirm that a Pixar theme is happening at Paradise Pier, giving us more details. Pixar theme at Paradise Pier Hotel, giving us more details, and yeah. Now, before we leave Disneyland Resort, there is one more prediction I have, and this is basically, let's address the elephant in the room. That is Disneyland Forward. And now, if you don't know what Disneyland Forward is basically, from my understanding, Disneyland Forward is basically what Disney wants to do with Disneyland Resort in the near future and expand the resort. This concept art is just concept art. None of this is confirmed. None of this is probably going to happen. This is just concept art of what Disney wants to do. But maybe at D23 they could confirm that they are expanding Disneyland Resort with Disneyland Forward, and they could give us more details on what's going to be included in this expansion. So Disneyland Forward, it's 50-50 if they talk about it or not at D23. So but we'll just have to wait and see. So Disneyland Forward, Alrighty, so we are done with the Disneyland Resort predictions. Now it's time to talk about my Walt Disney World Resort predictions. And we are going to start off at the Magic Kingdom. Let me just get my predictions here. Alright, so we're going to start off at the Magic Kingdom. And we are going to start off at Tron. We're going to start off at Tron. And I think it is 1000% they will officially announce an opening date for Tron. This ride has been in construction for a very long time, and it has been getting a lot more construction lately with like pavements and stuff, and ride testing. And recently the Disneyland or the Walt Disney World Railroad has been testing as well. So I think at D23 it is 1000%. I think at D23 it's 1000% likely we will get an opening date for Tron. You know what? I think it's going to happen. Yeah. I think out of this is probably the most likely thing that's going to happen or be announced at D23 or something. I don't know. But it's definitely going to be. It's definitely going to happen. They're definitely going to announce the opening date for Tron. And I also think it's 1000% likely they'll announce the reopening date for the Walt Disney World Railroad. So Tron and Walt Disney World Railroad 1000% think they will announce the openings for those two attractions at D23. Back to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Once again, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, I think if they talk about Tiana's Bayou Adventure, they'll talk about it for both Walt Disney World and Disneyland, which means details, concept art, all that. And if they do announce a Splash Mountain closing date for Disneyland, they'll also announce it for Walt Disney World as well. So, so Tiana's Bayou Adventure, very likely to be talked about at D23. All right, we're back in Tomorrowland. We're now back in Tomorrowland, Magic Kingdom, and we're now going to talk about Stitch's Great Escape, which is no longer at Magic Kingdom. However, I definitely think there's a chance they could officially announce a replacement for this attraction, whether it's a brand new attraction, like a brand new show, or even a brand new restaurant, or dining, shopping, or even a meet and greet location as well. But I definitely think it's possible they could announce a replacement for Stitch's Great Escape at D23. Still in Tomorrowland here, let's talk about Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin. And a couple months ago, there was a rumor that Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin was going to get a retheme to the brand new Lightyear movie that released in June. I think it's very possible they could officially confirm that a Lightyear retheme will be happening at Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin. So I definitely think it's possible that they could officially confirm a Lightyear retheme for a Space Ranger Spin at Magic Kingdom. We're gonna finish my Magic Kingdom predictions here. Magic Kingdom predictions, closing out my Magic Kingdom predictions, I definitely think it's also possible they could announce another new attraction for Magic Kingdom, for any of the lands, and yeah. All right, now we're gonna move on over to Epcot. This is going to be a long video, guys. Yeah, this is going to be a long video, probably 30 minutes or so. But Epcot, let's talk about Epcot, my predictions for Epcot. And we're going to start off with the World Celebration area for Epcot. First of all, Epcot is 1,000,000% going to be talked about at D23. This is the park that's getting the most construction out of all the other Walt Disney World parks or something like that. But yeah, so let's talk about the World Celebration area at Epcot. And I definitely think it's likely they'll give us more details and possibly even an opening time frame for the World Celebration area. So yeah. All right, next, Journey of Water. The Journey of Water Moana attraction. I definitely think they'll also give us an update on this attraction and give us a release date or a release window for the attraction. There's been lots of construction happening for this attraction lately, so I definitely think it's very likely they'll talk about this attraction and give us a release, an opening date or an opening time frame window. All right, next up is the Play Pavilion, and I definitely think it's also possible they could give us an update on this, give us more details, concept art, and yeah. All right, now let's talk about these two attractions. First, the Spaceship Earth Racing, which was announced at D23 back in 2019, and since then has been shelved, not canceled, but shelved, put to the side like the Avengers e-ticket attraction. And we haven't really heard anything since, but maybe at D23 they'll give us an update on the Spaceship Earth Racing and talk more about it. And then we have the Mary Poppins attraction, which was confirmed, announced at D23 back in 2019. Hold on a second, guys. All right, so the Mary Poppins attraction, this was also confirmed at D23 back in 2019. And just like the Spaceship Earth Racing, since then, it's been shelved, put to the side. But maybe at D23, they'll give us an update on this attraction, give us more details, concept art of what this attraction could be. So, yeah. So I'm hoping for an update on these two attractions, especially the Mary Poppins attraction one. I know I was really excited when I heard that they were going to be making a Mary Poppins attraction at Epcot, and I still hope they're still going to do that. And yeah, so fingers crossed we get an update at D23. All right, now let's talk about Figment. And there's been lots of speculation lately. There's been lots of speculation that maybe as part of this Epcot transformation, they could finally refresh Journey into Imagination with Figment and give it a brand new story, maybe, or something. I don't know. Maybe the return of Dreamfinder, and yeah. So maybe at D23 they'll give us an update. Maybe at D23 they'll give us a little update and what is in store for the future of Figment and Journey into Imagination and the Imagination Pavilion as a whole. So maybe at D23 we'll get some Figment news. All right, now let's talk about... next thing to talk about here is maybe D23, maybe Sunday is finally the day they'll announce a Brazil or Colombia pavilion for Epcot, which will include an Encanto attraction. And if they don't announce a Brazil or Colombia pavilion, I still think it's very likely. I still think it's also likely, very possible they could announce an Encanto attraction at Walt Disney World. There, of course, I talked about the rumor of there being an Encanto retheme for Tarzan's Treehouse. Yeah, and Lin-Manuel Miranda, the songwriter of Encanto, he pitched an Encanto ride to Bob Chapek, and of course Encanto was a big hit last year, and and since Encanto was such a big hit, this would be the perfect time for them to finally announce a Brazil or Colombia pavilion at Epcot. And if they don't announce a Brazil or Colombia pavilion, I still think it's very likely or very possible we will get an Encanto ride announcement for Walt Disney World at D23. So, yeah. All right, now let's... Voice crack there, sorry guys. Now let's talk about Luca. And you know what? I think it's very possible that a Luca attraction could be coming to the Italy pavilion at Epcot. There's not been any rumors or reports or any sources of this happening, but Luca was a Pixar movie that released on Disney Plus last year, and I believe this film was the most watched streaming movie of 2021. It may have not been. I'm not quite sure. I don't know if it was as big as Encanto or as big as a hit as Encanto was, but it was the most streamed. It was the most watched streaming movie of 2021, and that could be enough to get Luca its own attraction for Walt Disney World, or more specifically for the Italy pavilion at Epcot. I think it would actually fit pretty well, and I would really like to see a Luca attraction at the Italy pavilion. This is kind of a wild card prediction, but I definitely could see it being announced, because once again, it was the most watched streaming movie. It was the most watched streaming movie of 2021, so it's definitely possible they could announce a Luca attraction for Epcot. Alright, now let's talk about Hollywood Studios. Alright, moving on to my Hollywood Studios predictions here. We're going to start off with Woody's Roundup Barbecue, which is a brand new restaurant coming to Toy Story Land at Hollywood Studios. And I definitely think it's possible. I definitely think it's very possible they could give us an update on this restaurant and give us an opening time frame for this restaurant as well. I believe the restaurant is still on track to be happening. I don't think it was sidelined or shelved or pushed to the side as some of the other attractions have been. So maybe at D23, it's very possible they could give us an update and or an opening time frame for Woody's Roundup Barbecue. All right, next is Fantasmic, and I 1000% think that they will give us a reopening date for Fantasmic. Rehearsals have. A couple of days ago, they confirmed that rehearsals have begun for the show, and there's also going to be a couple new scenes for the show as well. So I think it's very, very 1000% likely they will announce a reopening date for Fantasmic at D23. So I think 1000% they are going to announce a reopening date for Fantasmic. All right, next up is Rock and Roller Coaster, more specifically a Rock and Roller Coaster retheme. And this has been a ride that has been speculated for a while now to get a retheme. A couple years ago, it was rumored or speculated that it would be getting a Monsters, Inc. retheme. And what makes this retheme announcement at D23 even more likely to happen is that I believe the Aerosmith and Disney contract has expired. That just gives us more likeliness, I guess, that a Rock and Roller Coaster retheme is coming our way and could be announced at D23. What could the Rock and Roller Coaster retheme be if it does happen? Many things they could do. They could retheme it to another band. They could give it a Turning Red retheme and have it be centered around Four Town. Maybe even retheme it to a Goofy movie. There's tons of things they could do as a Rock and Roller Coaster retheme. So maybe at D23 they'll officially confirm a Rock and Roller Coaster retheme will be happening. All right. Another prediction for Hollywood Studios, and this is once again more like a wild card prediction, is that maybe they'll also announce a Galaxy's Edge expansion for Hollywood Studios, but once again, that's more like a wild card prediction, but you never know. And then closing out my Hollywood Studios predictions, I could definitely see them announce a brand new attraction for the park at D23. And yeah. All right, we are now moving on to my Animal Kingdom predictions. And starting off with my Animal Kingdom predictions, I hope they announce a brand new expansion with brand new lands and attractions for the park. Because I think this park does need some more attractions. Because this park is more of a half-day park. And there's really not that many rides at Animal Kingdom. Of course, we got the Pandora rides, Kilimanjaro Safaris, Expedition Everest. We got those rides, but this park is more of a half-day park. But if Disney wants to make this park a full-day park, then another expansion is the way to go for this park. And I really do hope they announce at D23. I really do hope they announce at D23 a brand new expansion with new attractions for Animal Kingdom. So hopefully they'll give us some sort of expansion announcement for Animal Kingdom, or at least a brand new attraction announcement for the park. All right, next up, Dinoland USA and Primeval Whirl. There's been lots of speculation. That Disney will be replacing or tearing down Dinoland USA and replacing it with something else. Of course, we all know that Primeval Whirl is no longer at Walt Disney World. It was demolished and is I believe now currently just like a sitting stroller parking space. But it's very possible that at D23 they could announce. It's very possible at D23 they could announce a replacement for Primeval Whirl or even Dinoland USA as a whole. And then my last prediction for Animal Kingdom is, and this is once again more like, well, I guess this is kind of a wild card prediction. That is a Pandora expansion, an expansion to Pandora, the world of Avatar. This is kind of a wild card prediction. However, I could definitely see this happening because in like the next 6-8 years, we're getting 4 more Avatar movies with the first of the 4 sequels releasing this year. And that could definitely open the door for some new attractions for the land and give the land a brand new expansion with a new attraction. And yeah, so I could definitely see a Pandora expansion happen. Although if they were to give Pandora an expansion, they would most likely wait till after Avatar: The Way of Water releases and see how well that film does. And yeah, but it's possible. It's very possible that they could announce a Pandora expansion, although it's very likely that they would wait till after Avatar: The Way of Water releases. All right, now we're going to talk about resorts, and we're going to start off with Reflections, the Disney Lakeside Lodge. And this was a resort that was being talked about. This was a resort that was announced, talked about. We got details of what the resort is going to be then. And then, just like some of the other attractions, this was shelved, pushed to the side. They haven't announced they haven't confirmed if it's canceled or not. They have just pushed it to the side. I don't believe they have announced if it's canceled or not. But maybe at D23 they'll give us an update on this hotel, whether or not it's still happening. And yeah. Another prediction for resorts at Walt Disney World, I could definitely see them announcing a brand new resort for I could definitely see them announcing a brand new resort hotel for Walt Disney World. As for other things they could talk about at D23, they could announce a reopening date for Blizzard Beach, and they could also announce reopening dates or time frames for character dinings, meet and greets, and other experiences around the resort as well. Alright, so we're done with my Walt Disney World predictions. Now we're going to move on over to my Tokyo Disney Resort predictions. And let me just get my predictions here. I have a list of predictions on my phone here. I'm going to get them up. All right. Okay, so we're gonna now. All right, yeah. Now I'm gonna give you guys my Tokyo Disney Resort predictions, and we are going to start off at Tokyo Disneyland. And it's definitely possible and definitely likely they could talk more about the brand new Space Mountain / Tomorrowland at Tokyo Disneyland. Give us more details, more concept art on the new Space Mountain / Tomorrowland. And yeah. And that's pretty much the only news thing we know is coming to Tokyo Disneyland. So maybe at D23 they could announce a brand new ride or land for the park. Moving on over to Tokyo Disney Sea. Of course, Tokyo Disney Sea is getting a brand new port, Fantasy Springs. Fantasy Springs is slated to open. Fantasy Springs is slated to open at Tokyo Disney Sea next year in 2023. It's very possible and likely they could give us more updates, details, concept art on Fantasy Springs, and maybe even a opening time frame window. And yeah. As for other things for Tokyo Disney Sea, they could possibly announce a brand new attraction for the park that's not in the Fantasy Springs area. So that was my Tokyo Disney Sea predictions. Moving on to resorts for Tokyo Disney Resort. It's definitely very possible they could talk more about the Fantasy Springs Hotel, which you see right here. It's the hotel that's right in front of the Fantasy Springs. And yeah, I could definitely see them tell us more about the Fantasy Springs Hotel, give us a name for the hotel, details, concept art, and yeah. All right, now it's time to move on over to my Disneyland Paris predictions. And for Disneyland Park, the Paris version, there's really nothing new coming to that park. The 30th anniversary of Disneyland Paris is currently going on right now, so maybe to celebrate it, they'll announce a brand new attraction or land at D23 for Disneyland Park, the Paris version. So yeah. As for Walt Disney Studios, though, I definitely think they will talk more about the Walt Disney Studios park expansion. They opened, I guess you can say, the first phase of this expansion back in July was Avengers Campus. However, lately, this expansion has just been all over the place because apparently they're no longer going to be doing the Galaxy's Edge land for this expansion. So I think at D23 they will talk more about this expansion and give us more details and stuff and what's going to be included in this expansion. I definitely think we will get some more details, an update and concept art on the Frozen Arendelle area of this expansion. They might also talk more about the Alien Swirling Saucers addition to Toy Story Playland. I don't know if that's still going to be happening, but they might give us an update on that at D23 and confirm that it's still happening. I definitely think they will announce what the third expansion land will be for this expansion. And yeah, so overall, I think they will talk more about this expansion and tell everybody what's going to be included in this expansion. And recently there was a rumor that a Tangled flat ride would be coming, I believe, in this expansion. So yeah. Moving on over to Disney Village, I think it's possible they could talk more about the Disneyland Village refresh that is going to be happening. So Disney Village is Disneyland Paris's. Sorry, guys. Disney Village is Disneyland Paris's shopping district. It's basically Disneyland Paris's version of Disney Springs, Downtown Disney. A couple months ago, it was earlier, either last year or earlier this year, it was announced that Disney Village would be getting a refresh, and I could definitely see them talk more about this refresh at D23. As for resorts for Disneyland Paris, I could definitely see them announce a brand new resort for I could definitely see them announce a brand new hotel for the resort. Maybe have a brand new hotel that's next to Walt Disney Studios as part of the Walt Disney Studios expansion. I could definitely see that happening. And then lastly, for my Disneyland Paris predictions, maybe they'll announce that Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway will also come to Disneyland Paris. I didn't know if I should have put this in the Disneyland Park Paris predictions or the Walt Disney Studios predictions. Although, in my opinion, I think if they were to bring Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway to Disneyland Paris, I think Walt Disney Studios Park would be the perfect spot to put this attraction in. And maybe they will announce a Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway for Disneyland Paris, and it will be a part of the Walt Disney Studios expansion. So maybe at D23, they'll also confirm that Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is also heading to Disneyland Paris. All right, moving on to Hong Kong Disneyland. And I definitely think they will give us an update on Arendelle, the World of Frozen, which is currently under construction at Hong Kong Disneyland and is most likely going to open up next year. So I definitely think they will give us an update on this land and give us an opening time frame, possibly as well, and give us more details, concept art, etc. I could also see them give us an update on the Avengers Quinjet ride attraction for Hong Kong Disneyland as well, which was announced I don't know how many years ago, but we haven't heard an update on this in a while, and yeah, but maybe at D23 they'll give us an update on this attraction for Hong Kong Disneyland. As for other predictions for Hong Kong Disneyland, maybe they'll also announce a brand new land or attraction for the park. And yeah. All right, moving on over to Shanghai Disneyland. I definitely think it's very possible they will talk more about the Zootopia land at Shanghai Disneyland that's currently under construction, give us more details, concept art for the land. And yeah. As for other predictions for the park, they could also possibly announce a brand new attraction or land for the park. And maybe they'll also announce a brand new hotel for the resort as well. Because apparently there has been permit filings or something for a potential third hotel for Shanghai Disney Resort. So, yeah. So maybe at D23 they'll announce a third resort is on the way for Shanghai Disney Resort. And finally, the last part of this predictions video, my Disney Cruise Line predictions. Of course, the Disney Wish, the newest Disney cruise ship, has opened. It has set sailed, and Disney is now most likely ready to move on over to the next ship. Disney is most likely ready to move on over to the next ship and plan experiences dining. And what will be included for this the next ship, the sixth ship. And they might have already been doing that even before Disney Wish opened. Who knows? But I definitely think at D23, now that the Disney Wish has opened, I definitely think it's very possible and likely they will announce what the name of the next Disney cruise ship will be and give us more details, concept art for that. And then finally, Private Islands, a Lighthouse Point. This is a brand new private island coming to Disney Cruise Line. This is a brand new private island coming to Disney Cruise Line, and it was announced at D23 back in 2019. And I could definitely see them giving us an update on this private island as well, Lighthouse Point. And yeah. So guys, that concludes my Disney Parks predictions video. This was definitely a very long video. I had a lot of predictions. And I'm very excited to see what they will be talking about on Sunday at the Disney Parks panel. And yeah, let me know in the comments down below what your predictions are for the Disney Parks panel at D23. And yeah, now guys, this is not my last D23 predictions video. I still have one more D23 predictions video planned, and that is my wild card predictions video, which I'm planning on releasing Thursday, and yeah, the day before the expo starts, and also the day Disney Plus Day is happening. And yeah, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, so that's it for this video here. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time on Trav Max Fun. Please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.